What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode 6 of The Race, here with Kingston Sprint FC. And today, it's a little bit of deja vu. We are back once again, and today, we're back in the North American Champions League. If you missed the last episode, go check it out. It had our first 2 games in the Champions League. And, today, we are going to be taking on Saprissa and Tigres in a little bit of a rematch. As I said, lots of deja vu about this because these were the 2 games we had last episode. Anyway, since the last episode, you can see we have played 2 games in MLS. We won the first game against Orlando 3-2. A good little result in this game, to be honest. It was a pretty impressive performance. We were 3-0 up. There was a little bit of squeaky bum time right at the end as they did pull just 1 goal away from us, but it was very late on. And in the end, it was an Andre Clennon hat-trick which secured us the win. Anyway, in the next game that we had against New York Red Bulls, a 4-1 away win. A good little result here. Daniel Johnson, Clennon with another goal to add to his collection, and, Julian Green, as you can see here, with a brace. Anyway, you can see since that match, a little bit of a break. We've had about 2 weeks off. Bit of a time, I guess, for players to collect themselves, get kind of freshened up and get ready for today's game. And hopefully we can get a good performance today. In terms of the team news, there is no team news. We're all pretty much at full strength. So I think we're going to run with a similar team to the team we've been using kind of so far in this competition. It's been working pretty well for us. And you can see, looking at the average ratings, these players really have had a great first season at the club. Sean Willis, I mean, he's only played 3 matches for us, bless him, and only one of them was in MLS, but he's done fairly well when he has played. But really, of our first team regulars, Fabian McCarthy's been a little bit of a surprise package, really only a backup player for us as kind of a centre-back and left-back option, but when we've called upon him, he's done pretty well, and the other player's done really well. Andre Clennon, you can see 20 goals and 8 assists in 22 games for him. A very impressive total, and you can see that has taken him ahead of Jason Johnson, who was kind of Clennon's former strike partner, but, well, with the addition of Julian Green, has kind of just been relegated to the bench. But anyway, let's get into today's game. As I said, the team hasn't really changed that much. We go with Andre Blake in goal, of course, the Jamaican international. Left back, we go with Kamar Lawrence. Right back, we go with the Rabona maestro himself, O'Neill Fisher. I mean, he has 7 flair, but he can Rabona it, and that's what matters. Elsewhere, you can see we go with Taylor and Williams at the back. Do I want to go with Taylor and Williams? I don't think I do. We've got Apara. He is back. He was out injured with his bruised head that, of course, he got last episode. He was out for 5 games with that. 5 days with that. So he's back. So Decoy Williams, I'm sorry. I got your hopes up that you were going to get a chance. You're not going to get one. So we'll go with Opara and Taylor. In the midfield, we'll go with Jermaine Anderson, Michael Carrick and Pelosi. Centre attacking mid, Daniel Johnson. Up top, Clennon and Green. Hopefully, we can have a good performance here. Get a good result here against Saprissa. And kind of go into that game against Tigres knowing that a win could see us go through because it is down to head-to-head form. And, as some of you guys will know, if you watched the last episode, we only lost 1-0. So we still actually have a little bit of a fighting chance kind of in the return leg to kind of upset Tigres a little bit at home and maybe get the result we need. But it's important to remember we have to focus on this game here first. We have to take it one step at a time. And, hopefully we can get a good result here against Saprissa. Of course, we beat them 4-0 previously. We dominated that game. Really looking for a similar performance here today. And, you can see here early on, we are dominating the ball, but we need to make something happen. And, we are on the attack here. O'Neill Fisher, he had a stormer of a game last time he played Saprissa with 2 assists. Maybe he can replicate that performance today. As Kamar Lawrence, the left-back, plays in Jermaine Anderson inside to Clennon. And, that is Clennon's 21st goal of the season. That is my lucky number. Hopefully, this is our lucky day as well, and we can get a result here. Clennon, lovely finish. Nice bit of build-up play. Really impressed, actually, by the Kamar Lawrence through ball. And Jermaine Anderson, obviously, playing as that kind of left centre mid. He does quite a nice job there of just kind of floating into the channels and, then really just intelligently pulling the ball back to Andre Clennon. You can see the ball weighted quite nicely here. A nice run by Anderson beyond his man. Pulls it back expertly, and Clennon, nice finish by him on his left peg. Worth noting, we are playing in our 3rd kit today, which is a white kit with a green band on it. It's a lovely bit of attire, and, we don't get to see it all that often, but maybe we can have a memorable performance in it to help us remember what it looks like as well. Julian Green, you probably should have scored there, my friend. Instead, he hits it straight at the keeper. It was a good opportunity. But, unfortunately, it's gone a begging, and it looks like going into half-time, unless there's going to be a very late chance, which there might be here. I was about to say it's only going to be 1-0, but let's not talk too soon here. It's Saprissa with the ball. We've got to stay wary at the back. They've got a player called Welcome. He's injured. You're welcome for the injury. Imagine having the name Welcome. get really confusing. Would get really confusing. Clennon, can you... I mean, he should have finished it. He didn't finish it. I was going to say, can he finish it? But he answered the question before I could say the line. It's like he knew what was coming. I'm going to tell the players I'm not happy. They look fired up. Perfect response as far as I'm concerned. Hopefully we can shut down Welcome, although it looks like he might have gone off at half-time, which is a shame. I feel bad now. I just feel like if your name was Welcome, can you imagine like your last name being Welcome? People are getting read off the register and then it comes to you. It's just like, Welcome? Oh, I'm here. People would be really confused if they were new in your class. They'd think there's some weird thing where the teacher says welcome to everyone. I don't know where I'm going with this tangent. We should focus on the game. There's only half an hour left. I want the last name Welcome now. I should point that out. Also, their goalkeeper. Bit of a kit clash. You know, the kit man, he's not fought very hard about that, has he? You know, he's sat there and gone, right. Well, here's our outfield kit. Do we need a goalkeeper kit? Nah. Just get 11 of the purple ones. We'll be fine. That's what he's done there, the number 12. Maybe he's the kit man as well. Maybe he wants to become an outfield player and dressing in purple as to how he harnesses that strength. I kind of want to see him in 3D to see if he is actually wearing purple or if it's some kind of weird bug. Anyway, Julian Green, can he whip in the ball? He can't, but it's still in a danger area. And Anderson's there. And well, Jermaine Anderson, he got an assist before. He's got a goal to his name as well. It's his 5th goal of the season. A lovely strike. And well, now the question will be answered. What is the keeper wearing? I mean, he is wearing purple. I mean, I don't know who makes your kits, but you might want to review it. It's a slightly different shade of purple, the top, I think. It's more of a maroon, but it shows up in a kind of purpley colour. Anyway, Julian Green, he's picked up a little bit of a knock. Let's take him off. We'll bring in Jason Johnson for him. We'll bring in Fabian McCarthy as well, I think, in place of Jermaine Taylor. And with our last change, I think we'll just take off Jermaine Anderson and bring in Ricardo Morris. There's no point in risking any players here. Get off a few men. 20 minutes left. You know, we're 2 goals to the good. It's probably game over in this game. But of course, we've got that game against Tigres still to come in today's episode. So we've got to be kind of on our best behaviour now, I guess, for the last 20 minutes. Just make sure, you know, we don't get any injuries, we don't get any unnecessary sendings off, and that we kind of leave ourselves a pretty much full-strength side for that second game of today's episode. Although, I mean, it's not over yet. We've got to stay alert at the back. If they get a goal now, I don't think I'm going to enjoy the last 10 minutes all that much. Gutierrez goes back now. Out with Morales now. It's been good defending up until this point. Let's not switch off at the end. Apara, lovely play by him. And now, well, it's spread out to Kamar Lawrence. Could we get a third? Maybe. Maybe that's what we need. Fisher, can he Rabona it? He hasn't. It's been a deflected cross. In the end, Johnson probably should have done better there. It might still happen. In fact, it probably should have still happened. In the end, Morris putting his shot wide of the mark. But, well, you can see time just trickling away here. 2 goals to the good. We've been very, very good today indeed. And, well, we are going to run out 2-0 victors, maybe 2-1 victors, maybe 3-0 victors. We're about to find out. They're still on the attack here. McCarthy, the sub, lovely clearance. Give it to Clennon, feed him, and he will score or assist. Pulls it back. Morris, lovely play there. And actually, it's Ricardo Morris on off the bench. Welcome to the team, my friend. The player who won the Jamaican Premier League Player of the Year last year, despite only playing about 2/3 of the season. Before returning to us, we loaned him back to, I don't want to get the team wrong, it was Port something or other. We'll go with that. That's the official team name of the Jamaican side, Port something or other. But he had a good loan spell there, and well, it's good to see that form transfer over here. And well, it's a 3-0 result. It's not quite matching the 4-0 we got previously, but this was away from home. I think it was a slightly trickier game. And we do put some pressure now on Tigres, because we do now know that if we are to beat them, we'll be in a good position here. You can see Julian Green out for 3 to 4 weeks with a physio kind of treatable injury, so we'll put him on that. It's worth noting, I've not really talked about this before, but in the MLS, there's some rules with regards to putting a player on the disabled list or the season-ending injury list. So you can see here, you can put a player who's injured on the disabled list and he'll become unavailable to play in the MLS for the next 6 matches starting from today. So obviously, if a player's only out for a few days, you don't want to put him on the disability list. And basically, this frees up a space in your roster so you can add another player, which is nice. But his salary cap will still count. And after the 6 matches that you've kind of held him out for have been completed, the roster has to be re-registered. And obviously, that player that you added in is lost and can't actually play. If you want to put a player on the season-ending injury list, they become unavailable to play for the rest of the season. His salary will still cap, but his space on the roster will be freed up so that obviously someone can replace him. But we don't need to worry about that because he's not going to miss, I don't think, that many games. Looking at our schedule, actually, we've got a few games coming up thick and fast, a few midweek games. So doesn't look like he's going to be back for that Tigres match, unfortunately. So we are going to be weakened. We've got a few tricky games between now and that match, but I know that you guys want to see that match. So we'll skip forward. We'll see how we get on in these 3 games that we have against New England, DC United and New York City FC. Hopefully we can get some good results, and hopefully we can pull off what would ultimately be quite a big upset against the Mexican champions Tigres. Don't go anywhere. Okay guys, so here we are, we're back once again. Today we're taking on Tigres. It's the last game of our North American Champions League campaign, and well, we only lost to Tigres 1-0 before, a 2-0 win for us, or I guess any result better than that is good enough. I don't know if away goals count. If we just look at the league sorting rules here, you can see results between teams, then goal difference, then goals scored. I assume away goals probably do come into the equation. So as a result, we're looking for a good solid defensive performance, and then hopefully, we can bang in a few goals. Just one thing to quickly mention, you may have noticed earlier on in this episode, but also in yesterday's episode, or the day before yesterday's episode, my values here were in pounds and in kind of weekly wages as opposed to yearly wages, which is what are widely kind of used by American sites. I will apologise for that. It's a little bit annoying really, because Football Manager, the kind of money, kind of currency settings, and also how frequently the wages are done, be it weekly, monthly or yearly wages that are displayed, they're all kind of universal preferences. You can't set them to specific saves, and so as a result, when I have 2 saves on the go, there's kind of that process of having to switch back and forth, and well, I forgot. But anyway, let's get into today's game. We are going to be taking on Tigres. We have got a little bit of injury news. If we just look at the team selection here, you can see, obviously, McPherson's still out, but Julian Green out with that injury that he kind of got in the earlier game, out with a twisted ankle for 5 to 10 days. As a result, a spot in the side for Jason Johnson. Hopefully, he can give a good performance today. That is what we've got to hope for from the Jamaican. 3 international caps, no goals. Maybe today is a day for him to get some goals. You can see he's got 9 goals for us so far this season. He's come on 3 times in the Champions League, pretty much in every single game we've been involved in, and he's yet to have an impact. But today, he starts alongside, of course, Andre Clennon. As for on the side, Danny Johnson, Anderson, Carrick and Pelosi. Pretty much the kind of same midfield that started the previous game that we had. So I'm pretty happy with that. And then along the back, we've got Lawrence, Taylor, Apara, Fisher, and of course in goal, Andre Blake. So anyway, let's see how we get on. We are taking on the Mexican Giants tonight. And well, hopefully we can get a good performance. You can see they are favourites, not by a massive margin. And well, a win here could see us go through. And that's really got to be our aim. With the Champions League, I expect us pretty much every year, as long as things don't go drastically wrong, to qualify for the North American Champions League. Because, of course, we do qualify through the Caribbean Club Championship. For people wondering, is that a bit easy? Could you have just had it so you qualify the same way as American teams? Unfortunately, in Football Manager, it's all hard-coded so that any non-USA sides who kind of finish in a spot that would qualify for the North American Champions League if they were American just don't qualify, and there's no way to change those rules easily. So as a result, the workaround to make it so I could qualify was to enter myself into the Caribbean Club Championship every year. But anyway, we'll see how we get on here. I feel like with the North American Champions League, it's going to come down to the big games like this. Every year we're going to get put in a group with either an MLS side or a Mexican side. And the Mexican sides, I think, are a little bit tougher. There's a little bit more quality there, and particularly the good Mexican sides like Tigres here. I think they put up a little bit more kind of a challenge than the MLS side. So we'll have to see how we get on. I do think this is one of the toughest group draws that we could have got. But, well, we rode our luck a little bit there. They had a clear-cut chance. But you can see, looking at the stats as a whole, we're having more shots, and well, at half-time, it's 0-0. I'm pretty happy with that. We owe Tigres after the last match. Let's see if we can make something happen. Jason Johnson, who, of course, he's come on a few times, come into the side today for Julian Green, not had the greatest of games. We've got a few options on the bench. We could bring in Craig Farley, the 22-year-old who we drafted in at the start of the season. Or we have Alan Otti as another option, a player who's very, very pacey, not the most technically gifted, not particularly mentally gifted either, but he's very, very quick indeed. And he's kind of the ideal kind of impact sub, I think. Particularly if we can tire down this Tigres side, he could come on and have a really big impact for us. But anyway, let's see how we can get on. The first half, nothing really to write home about, and well, it can only get better, can't it? So let's see if we can make something happen. Why not straight from kickoff? Pelosi, Anderson, Fisher crosses it in. It's not a Rabona. It's gone beyond the last man at the far post, and it will be a goal kick. And well, that didn't look like that bad of an opportunity there. The lack of a quality ball at the end, a little bit disappointing perhaps, but well, let's see how we go on. In this game so far, we've been pretty kind of competitive against the Mexican Titans. Certainly more competitive than we were in the reverse fixture. And well, Daniel Johnson hits the woodwork. And then it hit the woodwork. How did that hit the woodwork a second time? We need to do some inspector kind of detective stuff here. I want to know. It looked like the shot hit the woodwork and bounced back, and then it almost looked like the Tigres player kicked it into his own teammate on the wall, or in the wall, and as a result it pinged back at their goal. I want to see what it looked like in 3D, because it will look very weird and confusing, and well, weird and confusing in 3D in the match engine is something that I enjoy to look at. So let's see what we can kind of decipher from what happened here. So Daniel Johnson, he takes the free kick. It's going to be hit the woodwork, I believe. Yeah, it looks like he kicks it against him, his teammate, which is weird. Let's another angle. Come on, let's have a proper detective piece of work here. So free kick right on the edge of the area. I didn't think he'd be able to get it up and down from here because it's almost a little bit too close, and it is fairly central. It was a really good free kick in the end by Daniel Johnson here. Probably a little bit too slow there, Jan. Let's speed up just a little bit. So he steps up, he takes it, hits the woodwork, and he kicks it against his own teammate's bum. It's actually the keeper who makes a good save. It may have been going wide. I mean, there we go. We've solved the mystery. It wasn't much of a mystery. I thought it was going to be more exciting than that, if I'm honest. I thought there was going to be more weird stuff going on. But, well, maybe we can have some more weird stuff going on and we can actually take the lead in this game. Carrick, Daniel Johnson, he's hit the woodwork already into Clennon, who heads it a little bit disappointingly just straight into Guzman in goal's hands. Not ideal. I was expecting a little bit more there. And, well, Tigres now with the ball. Hopefully they don't score from this, because we've looked pretty good in this game. But Gignac turns his man inside and out. Might be through here. Pulls the trigger. Andre Blake. Lovely stop by him there. You can see, first clear-cut chance of the game for Tigres. We're yet to have a clear-cut chance, but we've had 4 half chances. And, well, you'd have to say we've squandered every single one. And we need to deal with this here. It's a nice block. Might still be in a bit of a dangerous area for us here, though. The Mexican side bringing it forward. Carrick, nice tackle. And, well, we live to fight another day. It's been an action-packed start to the second half after what was, in all honesty, a bit of a bland first half. It kind of whizzed by. I don't know what happens if it finishes 1-0 to us here. I believe it would go to goals scored or goal difference, which, I mean, we beat Saprissa 3-0 and 4-0. I believe Tigres, in their first game against Saprissa, won 4-0. So that might be tricky. We might be hoping that Saprissa do us a favour. But, well, we have to take a lead in this game. And at the moment, they're on the attack here. Delort, lovely stop by Andre Blake. He tips onto the post. He gets the rebound. It probably should have been a goal for Tigres there. Second clear-cut chance of the game going their way. Let's make a change. Let's bring in Otti there. Jermaine Anderson struggling a little bit. We're going to bring in Ricardo Morris for him. Both fullbacks tiring a little bit. O'Neill, Fisher tiring more, not having a great game in all honesty. So I'll bring in Decoy Williams for him at right back. So a triple change happening with 15 minutes left. We're trying to reinvigorate our team, kind of going into the last kind of later spells of this game, because we've been pretty good so far. It's not been a bad performance by any means against the Mexican Giants. We've been competitive. You can see we've had way more shots. We've not perhaps created the same kind of quality of chances, and while they're on the attack here, it's a shot that's blocked. Juninho back into the mixer. Sosa, Kamal Lawrence, lovely tackle by him, an interception. He read that superbly. Still in a danger area though here. Sosa, Tigres do have a lot of quality to put us to the slaughter, but, well, we come away with the ball now, and it just ends. Well, that was anticlimactic. I thought we were about to go up the other end and score, and, well, you can see there's going to be no time for that. The time ticking away. It's going to finish here, I think, 0-0, unless there's a very late goal. There isn't going to be. The referee destroys any late dreams of an impossibly late goal. And, well, Andre Blake, man of the match. Says a lot about our goalkeeper that he did get man of the match. Obviously, the goalkeeper, a fantastic player. 7.6 rating for him. In all honesty, for both teams, it was a game where neither team really shone. Unfortunately, with that result and with Tigres very likely to beat Saprissa, we are going to be kind of going out of the competition at this stage. And in fact, even if Tigres were to lose on head-to-head, they have a better record than us. So our Champions League dreams, our aspirations, they're gone, which is unfortunate. But, I mean, it's a good starting point. We always know the North American Champions League, it's a competition where the group stage is something that I think we should be really striving to try and get out of most years. Obviously, when you get to the group stage, it gets a lot more difficult. You can see here, kind of looking, if we just look at all the different nationalities, you can see for pretty much every league, it's the USA and Mexican sides leading the way and likely to leave the groups in pretty much every single one, I think, which is kind of what I'm expecting. Obviously, it's down to us to try and book that trend over the kind of the coming years and be a team that isn't Mexican or American that actually manages to make our way through. Anyway, in terms of when we'll be back for the next episode, we have 3 games left of the regular MLS season. We are, in fact, already guaranteed qualification for the playoffs, which is great news. We've done that quite early on. So actually, next episode will be the start of our first playoff venture, I imagine. It's going to be big for us in the playoffs. I don't know where we're going to finish. You can see we're 3 points behind Philadelphia. We do have better goal difference, though. Maybe I'll be back for the last game of the regular season. We'll see how things pan out there. You know, if we do have something to play for, if we were to finish ahead of Philadelphia on the last day of the season or even before that, it would guarantee us a slightly later entry into the playoffs. So we would have one less playoffs game to play. So that could be significant. I don't want to disregard that as a possibility. So I guess you guys will just have to wait and see when we'll be back next time. As always, though, hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, please do leave a like, guys. If you've got any comments with regards to this series, favourite kind of aspect of it at the moment, favourite player, let me know. If you've got any other MLS rules, you know, people who are familiar with MLS that I should talk about that I haven't already in these early episodes, please do let me know. And on the flip side, if you're a non-kind of American football fan and you don't really understand MLS, is there anything that you feel like you don't fully understand yet that I might want to revisit or need to clarify a little bit? I'd love to know those kind of down in the comments. But anyway, guys, that is all from me. Thank you for watching. It is me, Jack. I will see you guys in a few days' time. And yeah, I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.
And you jerk it out.